So, I wasn't going to talk about this um, because I just didn't want to waste any of my energy on it, but it's annoying me enough that I'm going to. So, I went to the Van Gogh experience and I wanted to go with my young child. So, I purchased tickets, and as you guys may know, I do have cerebral palsy and actually some asthma and other things. So, I try to really be cautious of the type of things I go to, just because I don't do well with masks. Like, I have basically doctor's notes stating, like, these are really hard on her, because I already have diminished oxygen. So, it's something that, I can literally run out of air and pass out. So, I just avoid places where they're required. And I do understand that we're in a pandemic. So, I try to be careful, you know, and not go to places where I'm in a large group and things like that. Or I'll try to do a face shield instead. So, anyways, I asked about, okay, is it required? Basically, I tried to find out what the situation would be like before attending. And there was no mention of how I should have to wear a mask, and everything was basically like, okay, it's gonna be fine. But I was kind of nervous anyway, and I kind of wanted to like see if I could get a disability discount, just because I figured, you know what, I'm not gonna probably be able to do this whole thing. Like, I just was had a feeling that some kind of issue would occur anyways. Maybe just mobility wise, because even though it stated it was accessible, had I been in my chair, guys, I'm telling you, I would not have been able to attend this event, because of how it was set up. But that's okay, because I was walking, I was ambulatory. And so basically, once I got there, there was a line. I was like, okay, no problem. As long as we can make it in for the time that was, that was my ticket, I'm fine. So, anyway, it gets to be my point, and they scan my ticket. Well, they scanned my ticket, and you have to kind of go a little to the side to get in. And after scanning my ticket, they explained to me they were not able to let me in. And I was like, what's going on? Like, something wrong with my ticket? Like, because, I mean, the money had already come out of my account. And they're like, no, that's not it. A mask is required for entry, but we can give you this one and this one. Like, they pulled some out, but it just was like very nerve wracking to me, because, I mean, honestly, I didn't know if that was their personal mask that they just happened to have that they didn't use, or if, I didn't get to see where it came from. So it just was like, made me nervous about its sanitation, and stuff like that. But they just were like, oh, you have to wear this to go in. And it's like, had somebody told me that before scanning my ticket, I actually would have just left. Like, I would have been like, actually, I'm just going to need a refund, or somebody else can have my ticket. Like, I'm not going to be able to attend. But because they had made my ticket no longer usable, being that it was voided, it was not that it's voided, but it's used at that point. Like, I, I mean, what am I supposed to really do? So they explained to me, like, well, you have to wear a mask to go in, and you're not going to get a refund. So, okay, if I'm not going to get a refund, then I'm just going to give them $50 if I don't just wear a mask. So I was like, okay. So I just went in, and they explained to me, you can take breaks. It's okay. Like, if you are struggling with breathing, like, it's fine if you want to take a breathing break. So I got in. It was not very long afterwards. I got winded, and I tried to go to a corner where there weren't people, but they didn't allow for that. When I was in the corner, it's like they were kind of checking on me, like, are you okay? But they were also really frustrated with my symptoms, because I was struggling with breathing, and I could tell that they were nervous or worried that I might have COVID. So I tried to explain to them, actually, like, I'm okay. It's just this mask. Like, I can't really breathe. And they just were actually like trying to be nice to me, but they were kind of like irritated with the symptoms I was having. And I started to ask them, like, what is it that you actually want from me? Because they continued to like hover around me when I didn't have my mask on. And I just feel like if they're really nervous about catching the virus, it's kind of odd for them to be so close to me. But I just go, what is it that you're actually wanting right now? Like, are you wanting a COVID test, like a negative PCR? Are you wanting a COVID card? And then they just went on to be like, yeah, if you have those things, can you get those things? Like, they were so nervous. And it just made me so uncomfortable, you guys. I mean, I paid for that event. Like, if this was a community event and it's actually free and just paid for it by the taxpayers, I have years where I pay taxes, right? So that's fine. But that's not what it was. Like, this is something I had to pay for. I didn't like sign a contract of agreement to wear a mask while I'm in there. Like, that was not expressed to me prior to purchasing my ticket, or I would not have bought my ticket. Like, seriously. So I'm just trying to deal with them. And I went with my child, and so they started to really talk to my child and be like, you can't touch this, you can't push on the thing. But my child, I'm not kidding, was just close to it, did not touch it, knew not to touch it, but just being close, it made them like nervous. And then they would try to talk to me about my kid, and making sure the mask is on properly for them as well. And it was just this extremely stressful experience that was actually taking from the experience, because I couldn't just sit down and enjoy the artwork, because I have these people worried that I'm either spreading COVID, when I clearly expressed that I just have trouble breathing with the mask. And it just was really rough. It was really, really rough, because um it was just not what I signed up for, you guys. And so, overall, I was not upset that the effects or whatever, it's not what I would have expected. It's just that the video that they have for the sample of the show does not show people in masks. And I just think that to expect people to be masked in such a thing as, I mean, I made sure that I went when they were not full. They still had 16 tickets available. And I did check before I even came in, because I like to keep space from people. And those tickets were still available. Two had been purchased by the time I went up. So there were 14 spaces available um, in a 40-person show. So I mean, it was not packed at all, and there was plenty of space to socially distance. And I just am not pleased with how I was treated. And I just wanted to like let people know like what to expect. Like, you may really have to go through these extra things. But to make it worse is, I did have a chair because of my cerebral palsy that I had requested, because they're supposed to be, accessible and etc. So I had a chair, and everybody was basically arguing over that chair. I mean, I had a young couple that had a child that he wanted to sit on it, and I understand. Like, I understand children. So I told the mom it's fine. He could sit for a while. And so I'm trying to share this chair, and I would have the people that work there literally come up to me and explain to me like, we need you to not talk to other viewers, like, you know, and it just was really uncalled for. Like I said, if it was a community event, I would completely understand. But being that I paid to attend that event and I was not basically permitted to do so, the chair that they did give me was placed in a corner, not facing the immediate event, so that I would be more isolated. Um, and every time my child got up to look, they would then again tell me like, oh, you know, you need to not touch the screen. And that wasn't even what was happening. So it was like, we just really didn't get the opportunity to enjoy this event. And it's just really sad. And so, in my opinion, unless you want to wear a mask and you're ready to wear a mask and that's your thing, just skip it. Save your money. That's my honest opinion. Sorry this video is so long. Thanks for listening. And yeah, have a great day, guys. Bye.